The ProACT Know-How, brought to you by ProACT.
Hi, this is ProACT Sam from Living and Working Abroad. Follow us at our website proactpartnership.com or Facebook page Living and Working Abroad. We announced the launch of our new guide for expats on residency rights and how there's a natural process for expats around the world to acquire citizenship rights in their new country of residence. Expats around the world need a visa, whichever country they want to go. If you're going on holiday, generally your passport will be stamped for 90 days to give you a holiday visa to live and work in that, to live and holiday in that country for those 90 days. But beyond that, there's longer term visas needed to live, to work, to own property, to have a business, and even, as we hear unfortunately in the news, for economic migrants, political war, conflict migrants and refugees. So all these people need to go through a process to live in their new country, and these are common international laws that can lead to a naturalisation process. So each sovereign country has its own rules on naturalisation, where people register initially, they can move on to a permanent residency and then potentially a citizenship. And many countries allow dual citizenship, so the expat can retain their original country's passport and their new country's passport. Now with Brexit, we've got a lot of hot air, a lot of vested interest making noise on this, but what is a big concern for EU expats from the UK and the EU is to protect their citizen rights, and this allows them to move their property, business, trade, themselves, their capital, and across borders to anyone that country they want, and have common recourse to settle issues under the European Court of Justice. Now that's a great thing. However, it is very much down to what is the practice for the EU. The EU doesn't control the residency and the visa policies of each individual country. Yes, they have to agree to a standard set of rules, but those rules are down to the individual country. So a country like the UK, there's no formal registration when an EU expat moves into the UK, but for many other EU countries there's an initial registration even if you're an EU citizen, and therein lies the hub. So the UK have guaranteed the EU expats that they will maintain their equivalent EU citizen rights for their lifetime. Now there's a bit of an issue because they now have to register in the UK since March 2019 to do that, but they can do that and have in effect a permanent residency in the UK even after Brexit. UK expats in the EU have got this permanent residency option as well once they've been there 5 years, but they have to be registered in the first place. So if an expat has lived but not registered, then they need to register before Brexit to get the permanent residency option. But if they have permanent residency, then they can move on with their naturalisation process to eventually obtain a dual citizenship, which would mean they would be a citizen of the EU and retain the EU citizen rights. So those options exist for EU expats in the UK and in Europe that have already relocated before Brexit date, that they can secure long term without anybody else's interference their EU citizen rights. And that's what we are looking to give a guidance to in our guide on reciprocal expat residency rights. So you can get a copy from our website at proactpartnership.com, and we discuss the Brexit issue and how the UK have made a request to the EU. The EU have actually agreed and it's not within their remit, but they've advised individual EU countries to reciprocate to the UK offer to guarantee EU expat rights in the UK after Brexit. That's very interesting. So it's a deal, it's a potential of a deal, it's a recognition of a deal without there being a deal. But it's contained within the Royal Treaty and its agreement, and it's a sign also that there's no such thing as no deal Brexit. Something's going to happen, but there's lots of uncertainty for expats, and we can help sort that out by individual controls or wait and see what the political situation will come out. If there's reciprocal balanced agreements between EU and the UK, a withdrawal treaty will happen, and EU expat business, property and lives and families can be secured. But you can take action today, and all that information is contained in our new guide on expat residency rights. Go along to our website at ProACTPartnership.com, download a copy. If you know somebody who's an expat who might be interested in securing their rights, share this video, share the link, and let them get the opportunity to get this important information, because all expats can take action now. All EU citizens can take action now to secure their EU citizen rights by taking action using the naturalisation process over the long term to secure their citizen rights in any country around the world, and certainly within any EU country. This is Sam at ProACTPartnership.com. Follow us at Facebook, Living and Working Abroad, or Instagram, and we'd like to hear from you. Let us know your questions through our website, contact us. Most of all, get along and have a look at the guide and see if you want to download a copy. Thanks very much, and we'll speak to you next time.
The ProACT Know-How, brought to you by ProACT.